Hey everybody, and welcome back to Farm Boys Garage, part 3 of the $500 daily driver Honda Accord. And today we're going to get started by fixing the coolant system, which I had to go get a new gasket. This was leaking, and I think the guy that I bought it from told me that he had replaced the thermostat because it was overheating, and I believe what happened was this got pinched in the housing. This thing goes around the thermostat, and it's got two little notches up here that's going to correspond with little notches in here. So at the top you can kind of see those two notches. So that has to line up. So what I think happened was you can kind of tell this one got caught when he's put the housing back on and mashed it. I don't know if you can see that, but anyway, it tore it up and it was leaking. Didn't catch it when I pressurized, but as soon as I filled up the system, it was dripping. So that's the Fel-Pro part number, 35480 for that. So I think we're just gonna stick it in and get the housing back on. Showed in the last video, this is the housing for it, and don't think there's any kind of sealant that goes on this. If it leaks, I guess that O-ring kind of seals it, but so if it leaks, then we'll have to, then I messed up, I guess. So anyway, two little bolts, and then another bolt right here holds this bracket in place. You have to get that out of the way. And we'll get this back on and get everything hooked back up and see if we can pressure test it. Alright, so it wasn't too bad of a job. You just have to make sure that thermostat seats all the way up in there. It only can go one way, so you just keep turning it until it just pops in. And then you put your cover on. Go ahead and get that first bolt, top bolt, tightened up where it won't let that thermostat out. So right now, I had the bleed screw open and I filled her up, completely topped off. It was running out the bleeder screw, and I went ahead and put 16 pounds on the pressure tester, because that's what this car runs, 16 pounds on the system. And it's been sitting here for a few minutes, has not moved. If you can tell, that yellow is 15 to 16. And that's where it was when I stopped about 2 or 3 minutes ago. So I believe it's good. That tells me a lot of things right there. Number one, it tells me I don't have a leak inside the head, because I was kind of worried that I might have to blow the head gasket. Number two, all my hoses are good, and the whole system's good. It's no more leaks. Everything's checked out. So I'm gonna go ahead and bleed this off, and we'll put the cap on here, and now I'm just waiting for the exhaust. So hopefully in a couple of days I'll come back and we'll finish this thing up. We got to get the fender off. We may do that today. All right, so I don't remember exactly where I left off. It's been a few days, but the car's up on the lift. I've got my little area right here for painting, but today is actually pretty enough. I'm gonna do some outside. I've already actually done some outside. Got the bumper cover in here, got the fender out there, and so I did get the exhaust on, and it runs. I do have to come back and fix this bracket here, because this exhaust pipe doesn't fit exactly, which is no big surprise. This actually, exhaust pipe was for federal emissions. I don't know if there's a difference between the California or not, but there is a different part number between the federal and the California emissions. This car has the ultra low vehicle emissions, so it's probably got California emissions on it, and that may be the difference. But this worked out okay here. This little catalytic converter and all worked out. Got the pipe bolted on. Thankfully it come with its gaskets. I did use the gasket I had already bought here because it's a little better gasket. The other one was just a ring, kind of like what goes on this one up here. Just a little ring. So it's up there. I've still got to take the fender off, but I'm gonna go ahead and get everything painted. So here's what I've been using, and this ain't exactly what I thought it was, but this is trim and bumper paint. This is actually made to paint over old bumpers. So it renews and protects. So it's supposed to be painted over instead of it being like a new paint job. But you're supposed to use like a flexible paint when you paint these bumper trims so it don't crack. So the bumper cover came black. It's just almost a flat black, and this has kind of got a low sheen to it, so it's not a gloss at all. And of course I did get some runs in it, but for what it is, it's all right. Got a little bit of run right in there. I don't know if you can tell, probably. This is the top, so right here's the emblem. So this is the bottom of it over here. So that's going to show, but this paint didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. So I've got one coat already on this fender, and this is, I'm just using some Rust-Oleum acrylic enamel. And this is the automotive grade. It's got the paint, the primer and all in it, gloss black. So one coat so far, and I'll probably go ahead, this likes about 10 more minutes, and I'll go ahead and shoot the second coat. And then if it needs it, I'll shoot a third coat. So all I did with this was just wiped it down with alcohol and went over it with a what you call one of those rags. I have the word for it in the description here, but I should have found my tack cloths, but I don't think it's going to be that bad as long as the birds don't get in. It's still a little cool today. It's just beautiful outside, but it's kind of cool, slight breeze. Maybe the bugs won't attack it too bad. And I don't think I'm going to do the other one. I think I'm just going to do this one and save the other one for later. At some point, you know, we might want to put a full paint job on it, and then I would use the other one. So I'm going to go ahead and let this dry off a few more minutes. We'll hit it with another coat, let it dry overnight, and then tomorrow, which is Sunday, hopefully we'll get it all back on here. I've already got the insurance and the tag and all ready to go on it. So hopefully Monday we'll be driving it to work. And but anyway, I'll bring you back. This back bumper could take some of that paint as well. But I'll bring you back when we get everything done, ready to go. All right, well, got everything back together, and the bumper don't look too bad. It ain't factory perfect for sure. So I'm missing something right there, a pink clip or something. Here's the fender. It's a little dirty now. I've been leaning all over it. So it's got a pretty good door line. So I want to give y'all a quick look. Now she's idling. You can see it's very smooth. And come up to temperature. She's holding good temperature. Fuel gauge works. See how many miles on her? 237,304. The air works. You just have to turn that knob on. The AC blowing cool. I got the gauge there. The clock ain't set right. The radio works. Just got the volume turned down. The only thing I really haven't checked in here is the cruise. I don't know if it works, but it's got the cruise control on it. But everything else seems to work good. Quite happy with this little investment. Alright, everybody, this is going to be it for this video, or for this series anyway, I think. But she's running, she's driving, air works, and I'm going to sell her to my sister-in-law because they need a way of going And I don't. I got a decent vehicle up here, so she's gonna buy it. She done come looked at it and wants it. And I had one little issue that I fixed, and I got one more that I didn't realize. This door window, the window in this passenger front door doesn't roll up or down, so I'm thinking it's a bad motor. Won't get in here and pop this panel off and look at it, but this is it. And it still does have check engine light, but it is for a heater circuit for this back O2 sensor. I've replaced the sensor, so I guess it's in the wiring, and I'm not going to worry too much about it because it's not really affecting the drivability, and she doesn't have to have it inspected, so no emissions where she lives, no big deal. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this series, and stay tuned for more. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't.